Welcome to another episode of That's What They Said, a podcast where we question the questionable lyrics of your favorite songs. Scott Spinelli, Sarina Morales, and today we're doing a song from a listener, a good friend of the show, Mark Medina, an NBA reporter and a good friend of ours who recommended that we discuss Make 'Em Say by Master P, featuring me, Silk the Shocker, Mia X, and Mystical.
Okay, so, I mean, we can really dive into this, but first of all, did you know that there were this many people on this song? I always assumed it was just Master P. I didn't realize everyone was on this song.
So many people on this song. So much happening in the music video, which we can talk to. So much in general that, yeah, I mean, Master P was just like, hey, friends, everyone from New Orleans, come on in this music video and this song. We're going to do something.
But hold on. Before we even get started, let's just clear the air and say the obvious. This song is terrible, okay? This is a horrible, horrible song. I mean, just horrific.
Mark Medina, if you're listening to this podcast, I'd like you to realize that the whole podcast is to break down lyrics. And I don't necessarily know what lyrics you want us to break down in this song.
Oh, I mean, it is unintelligible from the word go. There's nothing to understand. This song, I'm not even being funny when I say this. Like, I truly forgot how bad this song was. I remember it being really popular, and I'm sure you're going to get into those notes as you always do. But I hate this song. I mean, I hate it. It's honestly making me question whether or not I need to be friends with Mark Medina any longer. That's how much I hate this song. And I love Mark, but this song is awful. And the fact that he did this to us maybe means that he's not a good friend. That's what all I'm trying to say, is that perhaps we need to reevaluate our connection to the lovely Mark Medina.
Yeah, even when we broke down songs that had like Abercrombie and Fitch in them, and you were like, I hate you for suggesting this song, it had lyrics. It had things that we could break down. This song, I mean, it makes New Orleans music, which, okay, I looked up like, because I was like, is this trap music? Like, what?
Yeah, what is
like
this?
Southern hip hop, bounce music is a style of New Orleans hip hop. But and look, again, like, we're both East Coasters. Like, I'm wearing a Biggie Smalls t-shirt. Like, forgive us if we're like insulting the craft, but I was like, I'm confused.
Hold on, here. Regardless, though, I like Southern hip hop. I mean, I'm a big Outkast guy. Like, I don't love Southern hip hop, but I like it. However, this truly sounds like it's done off key. Like, it sounds wrong. I don't mean wrong like it's like offensive in any way. I mean wrong like this can't be the way they wanted it to sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just sounds like it's like just really poorly, like it's off key or off the tone is weird.
Yes, it is.
Right? Like,
it's like someone's like playing the piano for the first time and you're like,
yes.
Ooh, that's not the right key.
It's not exactly. It's like just doesn't hit the ears right. Like, it's like at one point it literally just sounds like a dial tone is going on in the background. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, I will say the reason I'm not surprised that Mark Medina recommended this song is that, like, if you're a basketball fan, I think you automatically love and perhaps respect a guy like Master P. For those that don't know, like, he did try to play in the NBA. Like, it was like during the NBA lockout, right? Like, there was like people talking about Master P kind of playing.
He made a couple of training camp rosters, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, like the Hornets, the Kings, and maybe the Raptors. Yeah,
I remember the Raptors, and because I remember that was kind of like, I was like, oh, that's right, his name is Percy Miller or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's right. And I believe his son could play. I think his son, Lil Romeo, right? That's his son. I think he played at USC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and to that point, Master P's ended up starting like an AAU basketball team, and guys like Brandon Jennings and Lance Stevenson and DeMar DeRozan, like, those guys all came out of that. So again, not surprising that an NBA writer who was a friend of the show would recommend this song, but didn't really think or process what our podcast had to do with. Like, it was just like, oh, I know this song maybe from like a handful of And One mixtapes, and didn't really realize that that beat might work for like a highlight reel, but maybe not for a lyrical podcast. But we are going to keep our word and cover this song because that's what we do.
And I will say too, when he texted me about this, I said, oh, okay, I like that idea, thinking, well, the chorus is ridiculous, so perhaps there's more to it. But it turns out there is not.
No.
There is not more than meets the eye here. That's it. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. Make 'em Say is the second single from Master P's 1997 album Ghetto D. The album was released again in 1997. The single wasn't released until 1998, January 98. This song reached number 16 on the Billboard 100.
Which, for the first time in this podcast history, seems too high. That's the. I feel like we're always doing the reverse. Yeah. This is the first time I saw that this morning, and I was just like,
"Ooh, smidge too high."
How could this even be in the top million? This song sucks so much.
Like, imagine that many people were like, "Bam, bam, bam, bam." Like, that's all that's in my head. Like, I mean, look, I think you see this with a bunch of different like crews, like the Drake crew, you know, depending on like what crew you were in with hip hop, like this was my crew is better than your crew kind of song, right?
Yeah, it's a posse record. It's a cut record. Yeah, for sure.
So with that, you know, it's a lot of braggadocious sort of words, but that there's no story like line.
Hold on, let's even go further than that, right? It is truly hard to hear what any of them are saying the entire time, because I don't know if it's that southern twang or the beat itself, but together, I actually thought the woman on the song, what's it you said, Maya X?
Mia X, yeah.
Mia X. Yeah. She was the clearest one of them all. I could actually hear what she was saying without having to look it up. Whereas the other artists, I was like, this is unintelligible to me. I truly don't know what any of them were saying for 4.5 minutes. It was just.
At least we were able to understand the music video. So let's start with the music video. Because the music video is absolutely bonkers. It's Master P in a basketball game with like cheerleaders. Shaquille O'Neal is in the crowd.
What a waste. Why was he there? How about that bootleg, the bootleg version of, what's it called? The Phoenix Suns Gorilla that was just hanging out dunking.
Yes.
What was that?
There's more jerseys in this music video than like an overseas exhibition game. Like I'm just like, what is happening? Imagine the producers trying to organize this. Like is there like a loudspeaker? Okay, everybody cut, or the DJ has to like stop the music. Like everyone, pipe down.
Well, hold on, but before we even get to that, how about the most amazing thing of this video, that a gold-plated tank just runs into the gym. Mark pointed that out to me when we were talking about it, and I sort of forgot. And again, I know that the No Limit, their logo was a tank, so that's obviously what that was in reference. That's the whole thing there. But like, it's just like no one is surprised at all that there's just a tank in a gym, just a military tank in a gym. Nothing to see here. Normal, just totally normal. Just a tank in the gym.
It was a brainstorm, and they were like, get the gorilla, get Shaquille O'Neal, and don't forget the tank.
And the Shaq thing is the kind of thing, to me, I don't know if you felt this way. Like, if you blink, you'll miss the whole Shaq cameo. It's like,
also true.
It couldn't have been cheap to get him there. The only thing I'm thinking of is that perhaps because he went to LSU, there was some connection therein. Maybe.
Well, look, everyone on this on the track is from New Orleans, so I assume that was the connection, and they were like, "You got to pop in." But like, if I'm Shaquille O'Neal, like, dude doesn't even go in the game, like, dude doesn't dribble the ball. I mean, you just are like, "Oh, cool, Shaquille's there." The gorilla had more time.
The gorilla was a featured player. He was a featured member of the video.
Yeah.
It seemed like
but like there was no Shaquille O'Neal playing basketball, which maybe in your contract at the time. You can't touch a ball like unless you're on a court for your organization, but
I will say too, though, as this is a side note, that the Phoenix Suns gorilla, I don't know if he's still active as the mascot, but when he was in his heyday, he was a hell of a mascot.
Oh,
also, shout out to Benny the Bull as well. There's very few things I like more than mascot hijinks, and his move with the too big thing of popcorn, where he just like he goes down the aisle, and you just know your day is about to get ruined because he just like has a spasm and 5,000 gallons of popcorn go everywhere. Makes me laugh every time.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. I don't think the Phoenix Suns gorilla is around anymore.
I don't know. I would imagine there's a way for us to find out on the internet, but you know what? Let's just not even look it up. Let's
focus on this song and the lyrics.
Let's just plug ahead.
Let's start with the first part. The na na na. Let's start there because to me, it sounds like if someone asks you to get up from a chair and it reminds you that you have a bad back.
Yes.
Like,
it's for
oh,
old people.
like, no, I'm not getting up. Oh.
Well, the other thing about it is, like, this song, like you were saying, it's like a cut record. It's supposed to get you hyped and stuff, right? Like Rough Riders Anthem comes on, and like that just gets you super amped.
Right.
Like this to me, the whole mission statement to me is off because it doesn't make any sense. They're saying like, make them say but like that doesn't seem like that's a good thing. That's a but right, no. Make them say no. Don't make them. That's really what it should be called. Don't make them say It's not. It's just. It's one of the most moronic songs that's ever been conceived. Let's just call it that.
So, the tank obviously goes with who they are, and
sure.
I get that the entire song does have comparisons to like war, like he uses tanks, soldiers, combat, like commander in chief, like a ton of those comparisons.
Yep.
But all I thought of was imagine if our soldiers listened to this before going to Iraq or Iran or Afghanistan.
I bet there's a certain age of people that probably did. You know what I mean? Like the song was popular.
Oh yeah, but like imagine like our heroes come back and they're just like, I need to thank Master P and that song. It really got me going. I mean, he's influenced and won mixtapes and American Freedom all at the same time.
Exactly. They go, I'm gonna make my enemy say, nah. Actually, that was like a dramatic retelling of this is like some actual soldier with a gun to some enemy's face. And he goes, say and then the soldier and then the enemy goes, no.
I mean, that's right. Like they don't play by the rules. Like one of the lyrics is he's like stepping on toes, break a guy's nose. In the projects, anything goes. So if you're going to war with these guys, they're getting tanks, they're getting the Suns mascot, you're getting Shaquille O'Neal, they're going to step on your toes, break your nose. There are no rules when you go against guys from New Orleans. That's basically what I got from this entire song.
It's just disappointing to me too, because like the Cash Money group is also from that area.
Yeah.
And like their stuff was so much better to me. Like this is, how many like Silk the Shocker fans do you know? You know what I mean? Like Silk the Shocker.
What, Mark Medina?
Yeah, this is the only one. I remember he did a song with Maya called Moving On that I really liked. Mm-hmm. That's a good joint. But like, honestly, yeah, Silk the whole thing. My favorite one, I have two lyrics that I wanted to pick out. One specifically was the first line from, I think, the second verse, Fiend's verse.
Okay.
He must have felt really good about himself after this lyric where he goes, Fiend exercising his right of exorcism, busting out of the expedition, bullets chopping haters' business to about the size of prisms, our mission. Like he kept rhyming. Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Again, some people look up like what is that website like Rhyme Zone?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and just throw that word in. I mean, I use it, but I write for like.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Fiend exercising his right of exorcism? What does that mean? So
we can't even break down those lyrics.
Yes. This guy is an exorcist? Is that he's saying he's an exorcist? All right, busting out of the. I get the other part of it, like chopping haters' business about the size of prism. But like again, prisms like
chopping it up.
Yeah, but the size of a prism.
But prism also are very pretty. You know, like if you look through a prism.
The whole thing is so stupid. It was just clear that he just liked the sound of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it does sound kind of cool, but it's moronic. It's just like.
Yeah. No, that's one of the more impressive lyrics that came out. I mean, to me, I think Mystical, and I'm biased because I actually like Mystical because I think he's yelling all the time. And in this song, he was yelling, but it wasn't like this so much. It was a little, he tried to fit with like the theme of what they were going to. And he gives a little more context. Like he says where he's from. Like he goes, used to live in Chapatula. I done paid my dues, still played the blues. So you're like, okay, I get a sense you're from New Orleans. Chapatula is a street and area in New Orleans. And like blues, blah, blah, blah. Also keeps the theme with like the soldiers, uses a lot of words there for comparison.
Yes.
He makes sure to do like a roll call where he mentions everyone else on the song. Outside of that.
I thought that was helpful actually though. Because
very helpful because no one says who they are. Like Fiend just kind of dropped his name in, but like.
They also kind of all sounded the same other than the woman, obviously. Like they didn't. No, Mystical was a little different, but by and large, like This song, it was, I got one more for you. In this Silk the Shocker, in his verse where he goes, so when we connect, bitch better respect this. I step quick because I got a vicious right hand, but you know what? My left is quick too. Which, okay, let's.
Whoa.
Let's be clear here. So first of all, that none of that rhymes. So just no rhymes whatsoever. That's my main issue with it. But beyond that, oh hello.
My dog. It's like F you.
For people
she doesn't like the song.
For the people listening to the audio version of this, they're like, what just happened there? My biggest problem with it, okay, beyond the fact that it doesn't rhyme, is also that like this is just such casual domestic abuse lyric. Like it's not even. It's like, hey, just to be clear, I will give you a firm slap with either paw. That's what you're gonna get. It's like everyone's just, and we're all like, no, that's fine.
Nah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, here's my thing. I feel like when you listen to Eminem, some of his violent stuff is so over the top. It's like it's clearly done in like hyperbole. Obviously, he has said a lot of messed up things, and we'll eventually, I'm sure, get to an Eminem song that's completely bonkers. I'm not defending what he said. I just mean more like this doesn't seem like it's much of a hyperbolic brag. He's just saying like, if women step out of line, I reserve the right to smack the ever-loving shit out of them. That's what he's basically saying. Yeah. And everyone in the group is just like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Let's keep going. Let's hype up some more American wars and tanks. But also, we will slap women.
Yes.
We're going to be okay with it. We're going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
We're going to brag.
Very odd. Very odd.
This Mark Medina, you're very odd. I got to tell you. Love you to pieces, but you recommending us a song that starts with na.
Yeah.
Is questionable.
I got nothing more on this song. I don't know if you do, but I probably ran out of bullets. Yeah, I was gonna say I might have ran out of bullets immediately. Quite honestly, yeah.
So, well, good. I'm glad we can wrap up this episode. I mean, look, we're giving you variety, and if you do recommend a song, we will talk about it. Like, there's no limits here. But we talked about Alanis Morissette. Hey, Alanis Morissette last week, and now we're going to talk about Master P this week. So, the range is wide open. Yeah. That being said, another episode of That's What They Said in the Books. Scott Spinelli, Sarina Morales. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, all the eyes, all of the things that rhyme and don't rhyme. And check out our podcast and like it because it's important.